Hey everyone, my name is Myiesha and I'm a Sephora Beauty Director, and today's video is all about a holiday metallic smoky eye with some purple and some glitter and lashes, like all the good stuff that I really like. And I will be using this limited edition special palette from PAT McGRATH Labs. As soon as I saw it, I had to get it. I was stalking our site, I was stalking Pat's social media, and this is the Celestial Divinity eyeshadow palette, and it's her first time making an eyeshadow palette with 18 shades. And I love purple and I love metallic. Like, I absolutely had to have it. It's a lot slimmer than her usual Mothership packaging, which I really enjoy because I take these with me all the time back and forth to the studio or when I'm traveling. So I just love it. The pink and gold is amazing. So I'll show you how to do this extremely festive eye, and you can adjust it to your taste, but I made it super metallic-y and super smoky. So let's get started. The first thing I'm gonna do before I jump into the palette is apply a bit of eyeliner. It's holiday, so I think a smoky eye will do. And I love the idea of getting all done for holiday because in my family, we just kind of like sit around in our pajamas. So I love the aspect of being fancy maybe, especially this year because most of us have been staying at home. So I need an excuse to dress up. So the first thing I'll be using is a black eyeliner. This is from Makeup by Mario. This is the Master Pigment Pro Pencil in the black shade. And I'm just gonna rim my eye a little bit and set up the base for my smoky eye. We'll see where we end up, but I think I want the lash line to be smoky. I feel like that's festive to me. So I will be taking my black eyeliner with my number 18 Pro Shadow Brush. It has a small little dome on it. And I already have a bit of concealer on, some Hourglass concealer, so that's gonna be my base as far as evening out my eyelids. So I'm not necessarily fully tight lining, and this doesn't have to be perfectly neat. I just want to get some smokiness on the lash line, and very light pressure. I'm just kind of softening that line. Okay, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but you don't want it to have any harsh edges. You want it to be nice and blended. Same thing over here. And the reason I do eyeliner first is it is going to be more pigmented. And sometimes when you wear metallic shadows and you try to put a liner over it, the metallic shadows can be so powerful, kind of eats away the black liner, so it's not true. This will help it stay true. Okay, so I really love the Odyssey color in here, this color right here. It's like a sagey lavender with a green shift. So I'm gonna put that on my lid, but before I do, I wanna make sure it's gonna last. It's the holidays, but I live in LA, so it's still 80 degrees, so I wanna make sure it's super waterproof. So I'll be using a colorful shadow and liner pencil from Sephora collection in sort of a coordinating color. This shade is Soft Thistle. Using a coordinating base color with an eyeshadow one, you don't have to work as hard to build up your pigment. If you sweat or if your eyelids get a little like shiny or oily, it doesn't really matter because that base is gonna be waterproof. So I always use a base. I'm putting that on my entire lid, and you can blend them with your finger. These are waterproof. I find a little bit of the oil in your finger kind of moves it a little bit. So the area you want to be super blended is the crease. Same thing over here. We're starting from that bottom part and working our way up. So now I'm gonna apply a bit of that Odyssey color before I go in with some of the mattes and build up my crease. So I'll be using the Sephora Collection Pro Shadow Brush number 13. So I'm just placing it and swiping it across that base. Pat McGrath pigments, of course, are incredible, so you could do this without a base. I just find it like, why work harder? The reason it's blending so nicely is because it's so shimmery and shiny, you can't really see where it ends and begins. So I'm using two different crease brushes. So this is the number 19 Pro Shadow Brush. You can tell I use it quite a bit with purple and pinks because it's clean, but it's stained because I use a lot of intense pigments. And then this one is actually the Makeup Match crease brush. And this one is a lot tighter, a lot denser. I really like it for laying down darker colors, and I like this one for sort of laying down my lighter colors and like softer pigment. So I'm gonna start off with this fluffier one, and I think I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which is called Venetian Orchid. Of the mattes, it is the lightest color. Taking the crease brush, it's loaded up, and this is just gonna give a nice soft transition. And be really patient with this. You can lay down a lot of pigment and blend it, but I find I get a smoother blend and it's just easier. So same pink, just gonna build it up. I don't want it to be too pink, but I do like that soft transition that's happening. Okay, so I've laid down that softer color. Now I'm gonna switch to my tighter, denser crease brush because it lays down pigment really nicely, and I'm gonna go into this darker brown color, which is called Major Mahogany, this color right here, and it's a reddish brown. So I'm just tapping that on there, and since it's so dense, it's kind of like a packing brush and a blending brush, so I like to go between the two, something softer, something more pigmented. Okay, so if I feel like I need some perfecting or softening, I will grab this original brush with like little leftover pigment, not re-dipping it or anything. But I think that blends pretty nicely because the colors go from light to dark, so it doesn't need too much help. Now I'm going to, I might repeat my steps because when you do eyeshadow, it's totally fine to repeat what you're doing to get to the point where you need to. So I'm gonna use this color right here, Venomous Void, this sort of like plummy matte color, and do the exact same thing I just did with the bronze, same brush. So I'm gonna touch up my liner because I wanna bring it back a little bit. So back into that black, especially in the outer corner. And this eyeliner does have a little brush in the end if you wanna use that. Okay, so I sort of did a look like this the other day, and I took the fuchsia shot color and I kind of put that in the crease, and it was really pretty. And I'm taking that original eyeshadow brush that I used to lay down the same color. That's nice. So just kind of lay this over that crease color. Now I'm gonna go back into my lid color. So again, like I said, when you do your eyeshadow, you can repeat steps because as you do your blending and refining, some things will sort of disappear. Like you can see my lid colors kind of like disappeared a little bit. So I'm going back into the first color we used, Odyssey, and just touching up my lid. So my advice is when you're doing your eyeshadow and you don't know if you are into it yet or if you've added enough, just add some eyeliner and mascara and you'll be able to sort of see your vision a little bit better. So I am going to perfect this liner. I'm gonna put a teeny bit on the bottom. Okay, so I will be doing lashes, but before I do so, I'm gonna add mascara. So I try to always condition my lashes. I feel like my hair is naturally dry and brittle, so conditioning my lashes is sort of a must. So I'm using the Dior 3D Lash Maximizer. It's also a thickening agent. It looks like it's white, but it's sort of translucent, so it's very easy to cover up with your mascara. I tend to use the wand vertically and just sort of wave it back and forth. You don't have to comb it and coat every single part of your lash like you would a mascara. You just want to get a good amount on there. I tend to be a little bit more heavy-handed during the day because I like thicker lashes. You can also use this at night as the lash conditioner. And my lashes are especially fine in the inner corner, so I just put a little bit there. So for mascara, I will be using the Marc Jacobs at Lash mascara. Now this is a defining and lengthening mascara according to the Marc Jacobs team, but I feel like they don't give themselves enough credit because it really volumizes really nicely. Because I'm someone who needs volume, like this is the formula I tend to gravitate towards. So I think it does everything. You should update your description because it's great. So it has this nice brush that I feel like almost acts like a dry brush, like if you're or round brushing your hair. So it really grips your lashes, which is important if you have fine lashes like myself. So I like to brush upwards first, just to load them up. And then I go on the top. I always end with going up because of course you want to lift your lashes. I'm gonna use liquid eyeliner and do a wing because that's just what I do. I also find it helps to balance my eyes and make them look a bit wider apart, which proportion wise helps out the shape of my face. So this is the PAT McGrath Labs PERMA Precision Liquid Eyeliner. It is a felt tip. So I'm just gonna go in, and this is gonna be great for my lashes because anytime you have a lash band, using a liquid liner or some sort of very, very dark liner just helps to disguise it. So I'm using a very fine tip just to do a very thin line. I don't like a very thick line on my lash. or on my lid, because it takes away some of my lid space. So I basically do a thin little baby line. You can also, because this is kind of just like a permanent marker in a way, you can lay it down and stamp it. You don't want to press too hard because you will force a lot of the ink to come out, and it's very pigmented. But if you need to, if you find it hard to draw, you can just like tap, 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 tap if you want to. Other side. Okay, so my eyeliner's on. I still need to do some shadow on the bottom, but I like to put lashes on first so I can see how big the lashes are, so I know how much shadow to put on the bottom. So I just got these KVD Vegan Beauty lashes. There's 3 different styles. Of course, I chose the dramatic style. I've actually worn them about 4 times, and I just put them back on the tray. They're really, really nice. Of course, they're vegan because they're from KVD, but to me, just like the delicate way the hair is placed and just the feel of it, they feel very like faux mink. Like, these are really, really nice. So I'm gonna put these on and I'll be right back. Okay, so lashes are on and I love them. I think these are gonna be kind of like my new dramatic style. So the bottom is not done, and I feel like a good rule of thumb is whatever sort of level of drama you have on the top, put about half as much or maybe a third of much on the bottom. Let's take Venomous Void, this purpley color, that last matte crease color that I used, with my number 18 Pro Shadow brush, the little domed one that I blended the black liner with. And the amount of shadow that you use on the bottom is really up to you. I like my eyes to look sort of mysterious and dark on the bottom, so I go in pretty heavily with that bottom smoke. And if you want it to be ultimate smoky, you can rim the inside of your eye. I kind of like to leave my eyes kind of big and open on the bottom as far as the inner rim, so I am just going to throw mascara on. I usually apply it and then take a spoolie and comb through. Okay, so I think I'm done. I'm going to touch up my lip gloss a bit. I just use the Dior Lip Maximizer in beige. This color is my favorite because it just kind of like nudes out my lips very slightly. I can still enjoy my natural lip color. It just looks a little bit more polished. So you can wear this at night, kind of like the Lash Maximizer from Dior. You can wear these at night to condition your lips or your lashes. It's really sheer, but for me, it just kind of gives me a bit of color. Okay, that's it. So I don't know what my holiday is gonna look like this year. I don't know if it's gonna be virtual or just maybe me and my mom. We will see. But I think the act of sort of dressing up and putting on makeup for you and for fun is really uplifting. So hopefully you do something similar. You do something that makes you really happy this holiday season. As always, please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our content. And maybe comment like what palette you're very excited about using, or maybe lipstick or glitter or whatever you plan on doing. And we will see you next time.